The year was the 1920s. The Great War had ended. The prohibition was in effect. And my mistress, Miss Wisteria Belladonna Foxglove, had just remarried. Her previous husband had died suddenly, leaving all of his considerable wealth to her. Her new husband, the esteemed Mr. Paris Adder Castor, had recently become the most wealthy widower in the country after his wife had been murdered, died, and all her inheritance passed to him. They were perfect for each other.
You're not eating your almond cake.
Yes, almond cakes. Rancid almond cakes. I find it hard to believe that chefs would allow such a dish to leave her kitchen unless someone requested them.
And why would I do that?
To mask the taste of something else. Cyanide, while effective, has a very strong bitter taste, much like the taste of almond cakes gone bad.
Are you suggesting that I would try to poison my own bride?
Of course not. That would be ridiculous. Hysterical, even.
Quite.
So, why don't you try one?
It appears I've underestimated you, Wisteria.
An easy mistake to make.
Indeed. The cheese. I can't help but notice but the cheese you chose.
Cheese?
Yes. The tallest cheese. Very rare here in America. You'd have to get it imported from Italy. Known for its variety of exotic herbs and its ability to match the taste of hemlock.
Interesting. Yes, Winston, put it there. Remind me again how your wife died?
Multi-organ.
Caused by?
Unimportant. You know I can see you, right?
What are you talking about?
Really, my dear, I expected more subtlety from you.
What, like ruining the wine glass with toxins? Honestly, the film is far too thick to escape this.
Of course you want me. You're just jealous.
Jealous.
Yes, jealous. Jealous that my poisons have been so deliciously subtle while yours have been so blatantly obvious.
Obvious.
Of course it's obvious. It couldn't be more obvious. All you had to do was look at the tomatoes.
The tomatoes?
Exactly. Tomatoes, or tomatoes as they called it in Europe, were discovered by French explorers in the 16th century.
So?
And for several decades, Europeans thought that tomatoes were poisonous due to their relation to deadly nightshade. In fact, the word tomato translates to poison apple.
I fail to see how this has any relevance.
They were fools! Tomatoes are completely harmless. What the European aristocrats should have been worrying about was their cutlery.
Are you done?
I've hardly started. What the aristocracy didn't know was that while tomatoes themselves are completely harmless, their juices are acidic. Where was I? Ah, yes. You see, the acid in the tomato juice reacted with the pewter cutlery and caused lead to seep out into the food, giving the aristocracy acute lead poisoning.
This is all fascinating, but I fail to see.
And what are these? Tomato. And what are these? Pewter.
Spain.
I'm sorry, what now?
It's the Spanish who discovered tomatoes, dear, not the French. Don't be like that. You were quite clever to figure it out, just like I'm sure you noticed that the flowers on the table are deadly nightshade.
Rude. Nobody has been drank that poison.
Excuse me? I see right through you, Mr. Castor. You think that just because I didn't point them out, I didn't notice all your pathetic excuses for poisoning? I noticed that powder in the wine. There was a white powder at the bottom. Rat poison, was it? And the bluish tint of your fingers, you've built up an immunity of foxglove, haven't you? I suppose it must have been in the bread. And the mushrooms in the soup. You almost had me convinced they were harmless button mushrooms, but the light yellow tint of the meat gave it away, destroying angels. Yes, I see right through you, Mr. Castor. Well, what's next? Arsenic? Acid?
No, actually, that was my last poison.
Can't honestly expect me to believe that...
Do you have any poisons left?
Look, I was banking on the tomato thing, okay?
Damn, but the tomatoes were a brilliant move.
Thank you. So, this is awkward.
Quite.
Well, so something I did must have worked.
Finally. Arcane powder never fails. Daddy's getting a new glass eye.